Model settings in a FrSky TARANIS radio transmitter with Open9X firmware. This video will be really only simple, easy view on this settings. This will not complexive review, because this firmware is really huge and massive system, and it is not in my power make a movie about all, because actually I don't know all about this firmware. But I want to show you some basic functions, basic settings for your easier start with this firmware, and later you will be probably better and better with more and more experiences with this radio, with more and more functions. This video will be about model settings, but I will not I don't want to make any details about programming of real airplane, because programming of airplane without an airplane, it's I think it's not good for effectivity. So this will be small review, and later I will make a video with lessons with real programming on real RC airplane, small RC airplane. I have so small RC airplane with servos, with all, for these lessons. So switch on a radio.
Welcome to TARANIS. Switch warning.
On model settings you can jump with short press menu button. On first screen you can see here in the right corner screen 1 of 13. It means model settings has 13 screens. On this first screen you can select, create, delete, move model memories or models which you want to use or which you want to fly. How you can create a model? Just select any empty position, for my case number 3, press enter longer, and you can see create a model. So create a model,
switch warning,
and model is created. Number 3. You can see beside a number 03 small mark, small star. It means this model is now activated. You will fly with this model, you will use this model 03. Let's go. I will try delete this model. So press longer enter, and you can see backup model, copy model, move model, but not delete model. Why? This is save function. You cannot delete model which you have active. Yes. Why? Because if you delete active model, transmitter will jump on next model in this list. And of course, if your model, for example airplane, is switched on, you will delete this active model and transmitter will jump on next model. Maybe your next model is with really different settings on your channels, with, for example, with reverse on throttle, and it could be very dangerous, yes, because you will use model with different settings, and I think it's clear. So if you want delete any model, you must make any other model active. So if I want delete model number 3, so I will make, for example, new model on position 1,
Switch warning.
This warning, switch warning and throttle warning is separately for each model. You can set separately for each model this warning if you want it, if you don't want it, and about switches, position of switches for each model separately. So you can see now model 01 is active. You can see star beside the number 01. So now I can delete model, for example number 3. Press enter, longer, and on down position we can see delete model. Okay. You can models copy, move. You can model backup. What it means? You can here in main memory on a transmitter you can have 60 models. I think it's enough, but if not for you, you can each model backup on SD card, and here in main memory after this you can delete this model. How? Just press enter, backup model, and now is this model saved in your SD card in a copy. And if you want to restore this model, just select any empty position, press enter, restore model, and transmitter sorry, and transmitter will show you models saved on SD card. So select model what you want for restore, press enter, and model is restored. Of course you can save models not only on SD card, but you can with cable and Companion 9X software you can save models on your computer. So I think this is all about screen 1 of 13 model selection. Next screen, press page, and here we can set up details about our model. So name, just you can write letters, numbers, special symbols. If you want a big letter, just press longer enter. Yes. For example, again, long press, big letter. So that's all. On the next line, you can select model image. Model images are saved on our SD card in right folder. If you have in right folder right images on your SD card, you can select any picture, and this picture you will see on main screen or on home screen, how you want. Maybe it's a little bit wrong that if I select a picture I am without any small preview, so I think this is some point for improvement. So model name, model image. Next, timer. You have here two standard timers. You can switch on timer with gimbals movement, with any switches, with combination of switches, and for example with usage of system switches, software switches, custom switches. You can use, you can switch on a timer, for example, with telemetry value. For example, if you will be 300 meters altitude, switch on timer number 2, for example, or switch off, yes. One nice thing on OpenINX firmware is this throttle trace. Maybe you know situation, you know you can fly, fit your battery, your motor and propeller, you can fly for example 10 minutes on full throttle. But of course you will not fly only on full throttle for 10 minutes. You will fly with half throttle, with 1/4 throttle, without throttle, and it's really not easy find a moment for easy landing without a battery damage or with too much discharge battery. With this function throttle percents, for example, I will set 10 minutes, so I know I can fly with my battery for 10 minutes, and with this function I will reset this timer 10 minutes, and you can see this symbol throttle percents. If my throttle will be full, timer will count time with normal speed, normal ratio. If my throttle will be on 50%, on half, time will be timer will count time with 50% of real speed, with quarter, with 5%, you can see how slow timer count time. Yes. And if I have full throttle, timer goes in normal speed. It means my timer has a response on my throttle. So I can fly 10 minutes on full throttle, 20 minutes on half throttle, etc., etc. It's easy and safe, because actually in real world if you have a half throttle, consumption of your motor is less than half amps, yes, so it's really without any problems. Of course, if you will use a telemetry with any current sensor and consumption sensor, you will not need this probably, but it could be a nice function for flying without a sensor, and you will have a really nice idea how much capacity is in your battery. So back in our model settings. So this was about timer. Your timer could be persistent minute call. Each 1 minute your radio will beep, nothing other. Countdown. Last, I think, 10 seconds your radio will beep each 1 second. And the same settings for timer number 2. Next, extended limits. It means if your servo could goes on 155% servo movement, you can set here and you will have longer servo movement. Yes, but this is not the default on because this function, your servo must support this function. Without support this function, your servo could be broken. Yes, so you must be sure that your servo support this function. Extended trims. I will show you one thing. Now I won't go to servo monitor. I can go it with exit, exit, and now page, page, page. Now I am channel monitor or servo monitor. Yes, or I will go back on our model setup. Here is now option extended trims. What to be interesting about extended trims. Now I want to go directly on channel or servo monitor. Just press longer menu button and we are in channel monitor. I can check my settings if it's a response of channel or servo right. If yes, I press exit and I am back where I was. Yes, so back to extended trims. Extended trims. For example, this channel.
Maximum trim reached.
Maximum.
Trim center. Maximum trim reached.
Maximum trim on standard settings is about 25% of servo movement on each side.
Trim center. Maximum trim reached.
Yes, I cannot move more. But if I switch on extended trims, you can see I can go with trims in all servo movement length.
Maximum trim reached.
Yes.
Trim center. Maximum trim reached. Trim center.
Yes. Just extended trims. Next option, trim step. You really, actually you will set how big change will make your trim. I think it's clear. So exponential, it means first step will be short, next step will be longer, and big.
Maximum trim reached.
And I'm on end.
Trim center.
Next is extra fine. I use extra fine because it's more accurate.
Maximum trim reached. Trim center.
More accurate, more precise. Exponential, extra fine. Fine, medium and coarse. Yes, use what do you want. I use extra fine. Throttle reverse. Throttle reverse. Someone used throttle in opposite direction. I don't know why, but if you want it, you can here set directly throttle reverse. All these settings are for each model separately, and you can have in other model different these settings. I think it's clear. Throttle source. Remember about timer with time response on throttle position. You can map this function on other just gimbal or potentiometer. Here you will you can change which element will be used as throttle source, and this element you can use in this special timer mode and in some next options. Next, throttle trim. Throttle, if it's a throttle stick in center, which is normal position of stick, you can trim it.
Turn center.
But of course, standard position of throttle, what you want to trim is this position of throttle stick. If you have any glow motor, this is not important for electromotors, but with glow motors, you will probably want trim this bottom position, not this medium position where is 1/2 of throttle. And if you will switch on this option, throttle trim, you will trim with this trim throttle stick, throttle channel on this low position, on zero throttle. Throttle warning. Remember, if you will switch on a radio and your throttle stick is not on zero, you can see screen your throttle is not on zero. Yes, here you can switch off this message. Switch warning, the same. Radio can check, if you switch on a radio can check if all switches are in right position. And what is right position of switches? You can set here, or you can just switch off this function. Center beep, a really nice and interesting function. R, it means rudder, E, elevator, T, throttle, A, ailerons, 1, 2, left, right. On these elements you can set, I will show you for example on this right side stick, or what's this, you can see it's blinking, press enter. Yes, you can see R is now in a black square, so rectangle, on black rectangle. So now if this my control will be exactly in center position, my radio will beep. Yes. And this function you can map on sticks, on each direction separately, on potentiometers and these two side controllers. It could be nice if you want it. Next options are about transmitter modules. First settings are about internal built-in module, FrSky PXX module. You can set mode 8 channels, 16 channels, both with full telemetry, or 11 channels without the telemetry, but with 3 times longer range or distance. Here we can set channel range. Here you can bind your receivers. Here you can make a range test of your receiver. And on next line you can set fail-safe mode. You can hold position, last position. You can set custom position. Here you can set for each channel just position for fail-safe cows. or you can use no pulse function. So this is about failsafe. And same options you can set for external module, for module from backside of your radio. Remember, you can put second transmitter module on backside of body of radio. So you can use in one module, in one model, you can use both module together or only built-in module or only second module. And this you can set for each model separately. So it was screen 2 of 13. On next screen is helicopter setup, but sorry, I don't know nothing about helicopters, but how I listen it's usable, but sorry, I don't know nothing about helicopters. Next screen, flight modes. You have, or we have here 9 flight modes. For each flight mode you can set name, you can set switch, of course, you can set just slow activation or deactivation from one flight mode to other, because we don't need any jumping servos. If we change one flight mode to other, we want slow go from one flight mode to other. Here you can set here in and out. You can set global value or global variables. I will show you later. And we can set here rudder, elevator, throttle, ailerons. Nice thing, you can set trims for each flight mode separately. Yes, you can trim your module for all flight modes, or you can trim your model, not module, model, you can trim your model in each flight mode separately. And you can select if you will trim separately all channels or only elevator, for example. Again, in each flight mode separately you can set it. I think it's nice. Next screen is about dual rates and exponential. But actually dual rates is here not right word, because you can have trial rates and quad rates, etc. Because different value of rates is here just function. I will make some. You can set name, weight, exponential, curve. You can set detailed curve for servo movement. You can set flight mode for this rate. Yes, switch for activating side, because you can use rate and exponential for each side from 0 separately. And if you make this rate, you can just copy it and change. Yes, it means now I have here 4 dual rates. It's not dual rates, it's quad rates, or four rates. Yes, and exponential. You can copy it between rudder and elevator, throttle, ailerons. You can make everything what you think that you know that you want about dual rates, exponentials, etc. Of course, you can delete it and just everything. Next screen, 6 of 13, is the base or heart of Open9X. If you will move with any sticks or something other and your servo will move, everything will be here on mixer. Every servo movement starts here. Here you have 32 channels, and for each channel you can set more mixes. Yes. For example, for channel 1 I can use a mix with ailerons, stick input, or with for example potentiometer 1 input. Yes, each channel in each channel you can add more mixes, and final result of this process you will send on your receiver and servo. As input in mix you can use everything, all sticks, controls, potentiometers, switches, but you can use output, complete output from other channel. You can use PPM input from other radio or FPV system. Really, you can use I think everything what you want. You can set mix name, so you can name it aileron, left aileron, for example. Source is source, byte of this mix, this function, for each mix separately, of course. Offset, trim, yes or no, and what will be used as trim. Curve, you can use on ailerons differentiation directly here. Flight mode for this mix. Switch, warning, if you will switch on any warning, if this switch will be activated, radio will be make any sound. Multiplex, this is about counting mixes together. Delay up and slow up, slow down. Slow is just slow activating or slow deactivating of this mix, but delay is just delay. You will just switch on the mix, and for example after 2 seconds will be this mix activated. We will see later in video tutorials with real small RC airplane how this mixes really works in the real world, and some basic functions we will make. This is really heart of Open9X. If you know use mixer, you know Open9X. On next screen, 7 of 13, is just servo point adjustment, end point adjustments. You here just for each channel can set non-crossable points for servo movement on each side separately. Here you have subtrims. Here you can set reverses for each channel, and here is servo pulse width. Nothing special, I know it's on almost on all radios similar. Next screen is about curves. You can use 16 curves, and each curve could be with a custom name, and type of curve could be 3 points, 5 points, 9 points, 17 points. You can see, for example, on 5 points, oh, this is my timer. Yes, I will reset it. So back to our curves. You can see two types of curves. One number is 5pt and next 5pt with this apostrophe, with this next letter. What it means? With 5pt or just with type of curve without next letter, you can move points on curve only in vertical direction. With this you can move points with both directions, not only vertical but horizontally too. Look, for example, this I can move it, you know, horizontally and vertically. Yes, just for curves it's I think enough. 17 points and 16 curves. What is important? This is something like storage for all curves. You can select and use curves in more screens, in more functions in Open9X. But every time if you will use a curve, you will use this curve from this curve storage. And if you use, for example, curve number 1 in one mix, and later if you select same curve number 1 in other second mix, and if you will change this curve from this other mix, you will change this curve for first mix too. Yes, all curves are here. You can change these curves from more places, from more screens, but every time you will change curves from this curve storage. So, next screen, global variables or global values. It's a really interesting thing. I don't know about other radios with this function. Only simple description. Everywhere or almost everywhere where you can use any number, fixed number, for example weight of mix or weight of dual rate, value of dual rate, value of exponential, for example, you can set fixed number, or you can set one from our global variables. You just set global variables here, for example number 20. You can set this number for each flight mode, this means flight modes, different number or same, how you want. And if I set here for all flight modes number 35, and on other place in mixes for ailerons, for example, I will set I will place on place of fixed number GV1. It has some advantages. For example, I have airplane with 6 ailerons. These 6 ailerons will have same value of servo movement, for example 35. During flying I want 35, I need more, about 35, and you must change in all 6 ailerons 6 numbers from 35 on 45. You will try it and 45 is too much, 42 will be better, and again you must change 6 numbers from 45 on 42, or you will change only one number here, because in all 6 ailerons you have no number 35 or 42 or 45. You have just parameter GV1, and GV1 parameter you will set on one place only one time, and for all flight modes separately. This is only example. You can use it by many more ways. And what is really nice, this number could be fixed, but it could be loaded with value from potentiometer with use of next function. So you can change, for example, mix value during flying with your potentiometer, or you can change during flying, I don't know, you use flaps, you will use flaps, and if you will use a flaps during a flight, you will probably need any reaction of elevator, and you must tune reaction of elevator, right value. And with this function you can tune or change weight of this mix elevator on flaps during flying, and later you get change it on fixed numbers. But about tuning of some functions during flying, you can use these global variables. For example, because you can use it, you can change during flying value on ailerons, you can change continuously dual rates, exponential, everything where is any number value on weight. So next screen, custom switches. Custom switches is you have on radio 8 physically switches, but we can use next 32 custom software switches. Only software switches, logically switches. For example, custom switch number 1 will be switch on if these 2 physically switches, but you don't see it. Again, custom switch 1 will be switch on if these 2 physically switches will be on low position. Or custom switch 2, for example, will be switch on if one of these two switches will be on low position. Or custom switch free will be switched on if throttle stick will be on more than 60% or less than 40% or exact 50% or about 50%. Yes, we can hear these custom switches use in other custom switches. And what is really nice, if we use telemetry and sensors, we can use values from telemetry as condition in custom switches. For example, listen me carefully. Custom switch 1 will be switched on if throttle will be more than 60%. Custom switch 1. Custom switch 2 will be switched on if altitude from sensor will be more than 50 meters. And custom switch 3 will be switched on if will be switched on custom switch 1 and custom switch 2 together. So custom switch 3 will be on if throttle stick will be on more than 60% and if altitude from my sensor will be more than 50 meters. And this, finally, custom switch 3, I can use in mix for automatic elevator during full throttle. You know, on some airplanes, especially on gliders, if you have full throttle, your airplanes could climbing. And you can use mix with elevator response on this. Yes, but with this custom switches, you can use this function only in altitude higher than 50 meters. For example, yes, this is only example. Or next example about speed. You can make custom switch, and you say if speed will be more than 60 kilometers per hour, custom switch 1 will be switched on. And in any mix, you can say make smaller ailerons response with custom switch 1 condition. It means if your airplane will fly with more speed than 60 kilometers per hour, you will have smaller and more precise ailerons response. Again, only for example. many combinations, many options. Next screen, custom functions. On this custom functions, you can set next just custom functions. You can set safe switches. It means if my switch will be here, my throttle will be always 0 without not depending on position of throttle stick. Every time always on 0, just safe switch. Or you can set here global values, fill it with potentiometer, for example. or you can set here volume on any potentiometer, volume of voice and speech, yes, etc, etc. Again, if you want more know, just look to PDF manual about OpenINX, because this is many options. Next screen is telemetry. Telemetry is a big theme, and I will make a special movie only about telemetry and only about one or two sensors, for example current sensor and I don't know, variometer maybe, because you can use more sensors with more options, and if you want to use, you must study more about it, yes, because again options are many, but some simple settings with some basic sensors I will make some movie. And last screen is templates. I don't use templates, but you can use templates. Just select any templates, activate it, and you rewrite mixes with mixes used in templates. What I use clear mixes. If you create new model, 4 standard basic mixes will be automatically filled in mixer. Here you can clear them. Now if I will look, I press page button longer, it means I go back on screens. If I go on mixers, it's empty on mixer, because I like make my mixes by my way. So that's all. I think for basic introduction it could be enough, and soon we will make first lesson OpenINX on FrSky TARANIS. It will be easy, simple airplane, 4 channels, elevator, rudder, ailerons, slot, throttle. Both ailerons will be on one channel with use of V cable or Y cable, what you want. And in second half of this first lesson we will connect each aileron on each channel separately. So see you later, thanks for watching. Again, sorry for my English, I am very tired, and see you soon.